It's divided opinion as he might not be the biggest name, but make no mistake, Andrey Santos is a quality signing. We're joined by Opta data editor Gary Mabbutt to find out exactly what United fans can expect. Gary, thank you for joining us. How are you?
Yeah, all good, mate. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I mean, it might not be a signing that some United fans were hoping for, but what can they expect from Andrey Santos?
He only started 13 games for Chelsea in the Premier League last season, which is why fans maybe are thinking, is he the big signing we're looking for? However, yeah, his passing ability is top, really. In his small amount of games last season, his line breaking passes, his ability to play through the lines. If you look at midfielders that are 23 years old younger last season, only Elliot Anderson has more than him per 90. So, he does get the ball forward. He plays quickly. He's great in tight spaces. His passing accuracy is excellent, and he deserves the chance to play every week to show everybody what he can do, basically. Which in today's market, that's what £50 million gets you sometimes. But yeah, I think they're getting a really good player. From a Chelsea perspective, I wouldn't like to lose him.
You mentioned his passing there already. Is that his key attribute, and what other things should we be looking out for?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's a bit all round, to be honest. For Chelsea last season, only Caicedo has more tackles per 90 as well. So like he wins the ball back as well as, he's very combative. He can kind of play 6 or 8. I assume at United he'll play in one of the 6 positions behind Bruno Fernandes. And he'll bring some real steel in there, as well as great in tight spaces and not giving the ball away. His passing actually is excellent. And when you compare that to not just keeping the ball, but because he has that ability to play the forward passes and between the lines, it shows that he can do it by taking risk and still hold a really high passing accuracy. So he's not just passing safe either. And yeah, he's going to bring a lot to that team for sure.
I mean, 22 years old, he's obviously still really young, but what are some areas where he could improve on?
I think one of the big ones in terms of improvement, it's more getting to show everything he can do. I mean, he will certainly improve. When you think he's only played the one main season in France, and then he's been at Chelsea, where it's been a chaotic time at Chelsea. I think he can improve in his athleticism and his all-round play, his ability to affect games. Obviously, goal scoring. He has an eye for a goal, and he'd like to get forward. Whether he gets to play as high up as that at United, I'm not too sure. But it'll just be a case of give him that bit of time. He's 22 years old, and by the time, in the next 2 years, we could be talking about him like being, one of the top midfielders in the league. Like we've seen it with some of the other guys that have come in. It sometimes takes a year or two to adjust, and yeah, he can certainly kick on and show that he's worth the big layup from United.
You mentioned his time in Ligue 1 with Strasbourg being his first full season. How did Liam Rossini get the best out of him there?
He played in a 2, like they like to play wing backs at Strasbourg, but that season he stood out massively, even in terms of his Rossini talked about his leadership skills at such a young age as well. He scored 10 goals, so joint top among midfielders in the league that season. Again, loved passing forward, so he's in the top 5 for forward passes that season. When you think Vitinha at PSG, he's only played 9 more passes than him forward, and we know how much that he's lauded upon with his passing. So he really stood out that season, which from a Chelsea perspective, yeah, you'd have hoped that maybe he'd have got more chances, which is now United are getting that. They're almost getting that potential that Chelsea had but didn't really use. Because yeah, if he can translate some of those numbers from the full season in France that he had, I'm sure he'll do really well.
He might not be the big name that United fans were promised or maybe even expecting, but in your opinion, is he good enough to play for United?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's more a value thing, right? So yeah, big names are great if you're going to go and spend the 120 millions that people want. If Man United want to buy 2 or 3, they're saying. So you can't do that with £100 million plus players, right? So they've needed to go for someone who's really ready to play every week. He's robust. He doesn't have many injuries, and for the price tag that he is, they're probably getting a bit of value compared to going and paying 80, 90, 100 for maybe someone who's a bit more established. These days, it's a lot about age. If they were signing a 27-year-old, then maybe you're looking at the ready-made perfect player. But yeah, at 22, he's got plenty of time to become a really good player for Man United for sure.